time for business, and Kweku Temen is standing by. Good afternoon, Kweku.
Well, very good afternoon to you, Portia. Sure, you might just want to be finding out what is happening in our world of business.
Exactly. I understand you do have interviews with the Institute of Surveyors.
Definitely. Now, Portia, I don't know if you've attempted owning a land before, but it could come with its difficulties in and around. Now, this afternoon, we want to take advantage and interact with the surveyors. What you need to do, the litigations front with land acquisition. How can we help ourselves as a nation? And if we have land disputes or issues, how the Surveyors Association can really come to the aid of the individual, and who actually is a real surveyor. So this afternoon we'll get to ask all these questions, apart from going to the banking industry and also find out reasons why 2013 has seen some declines. This and many more in business. But before we go for our major topic for discussion this afternoon, we'll first look at the banking sector. But before then, my name is Kweku Temen. Let's get the details of our stories this afternoon. Now, figures released by the Central Bank on the banking sector revealed that the first 6 months of 2013, the industry's growth in profit after tax has declined significantly. The industry's net profit after tax of 606.5 million Ghana cedis saw a growth of 46.7% in 2013, that's June, compared with 74.9% growth in June 2012. Commission and fees, that's growth slowed to 21.2% at the end of June 2013. That's from 25.1% in June 2012, while other income, however, declined by 16.1%. The banking sector income before tax was around 811.9 million Ghana cedis in terms of year-on-year growth, recorded on an increase of 58.4%. So not looking too good for the banking industry the first 2 halves of the year, as profits compared to the year 2012 has seen some marginal declines. We'll stay on the story. We'll be giving you further details on it. Okay, so back to our major story for this afternoon. We're looking at the surveyors, the role they play, and of course land litigations and the like. Really, have we had surveyors contribute to these issues of land litigations in the country? Well, very shortly we'll be speaking to 2 surveyors that we have in our studios, and also try to find out how the institution is trying to help. First of all, we have, just to my immediate left, we have Alphonse Ayite. He is a member of the planning committee of the Ghana Institute of Surveyors. Of course, they are planning to come out with a seminar. He's a member. Well, you're welcome into the studios. Right by him is the chairman for the planning committee, Surveyor Isaac Labi. Gentlemen, you are welcome into the studios.
Thank you.
I'm sure you've realized I keep hammering on litigations. So much litigations in the country when it comes to land acquisition. I want to put it to you that surveyors have significantly contributed to this.
Thank you very much for the opportunity granted us. As you said, truly surveyors have contributed to that. On the other hand, too, we have helped the system, because there are many individuals who have acquired land by the help of surveyors, and they've gone through. But we've had a lot of problems with unofficial land surveyors in the system. We call them quack surveyors, you see, and you realize that most of them, you just go to them, you just decide to get a peanut, and then they'll do the work for you. But when you contract the professional land surveyor, definitely he'll get you what you want, based on ethics and codes and the rules and regulations which he applies to prepare your plan for you.
Interestingly, Mr. Labi talked about charlatans. He called them quack surveyors in the system. Now, Alphonse, I want to know the operations of these quacks or charlatans in the industry. Has it tamed the gentleman surveyor black in the eyes of most Ghanaians?
Yes, thank you very much. Yeah, it is true. The quack surveyors, they are the very people who are causing the problem in this country, because most of the time they are the very people who associate themselves with the chiefs, and the chiefs take them. They don't go in for the qualities, what do you call it? Qualified surveyors, and they always deal with the quack surveyors, and that has been causing the problem to the system.
But who is the right surveyor to deal with, and how can you get one?
Now, talking about the right surveyor, we call him a professional land surveyor. He is somebody who has acquired knowledge, who has gone to any educational institution to come out, and then is part of
does he also member to register?
Yeah, he's supposed to be a member of the Ghana Institution of Surveyors. It's an institution that embodies all surveyors.
If you are not in that body today, then you cannot qualify yourself a professional
at all. You are not licensed to. You see, we have the licensed surveyors. They will certify any plan. They are supposed to go to the site to prepare the plan that you want, and then you come to a director of service who will now approve of what the land surveyor has certified. So we have the official land surveyor who needs to be doing all these things. But I realize that we have some of these boys who have worked with licensed surveyors, and they call themselves surveyors, but they are not. They are not. Yeah.
Besides, I want to come back to you now. Today, if Ghana should deal with the right professionals in the industry, I mean, talk about we wanting land banks, lands that will be reserved for investors, and proper planning of land, proper demarcations of land. If we are able to use the professional surveyor, what are the benefits the country stand to gain?
Yeah, one of the benefit is that when it happens like that, there won't be any dispute in the country, because if you go in for the qualified surveyor, he's the one who is going to do the thing for you and do it very well for you, and that way you will not have any dispute in the country, and that will not bring any acquisition in the country. Yes, so it's always good to go in for a qualified surveyor, not the quack surveyor. But sometimes the public doesn't know who is a qualified surveyor and who is the qualified surveyor, because they always go in for the cheap one, as the chairman said. They always go in for the cheap one, and they just take a peanut, and then they go and do the wrong thing. At the end of the day, they come back to us to do the right thing, and it costs them a lot.
Are there penalties or punishments for even qualified surveyors when they flout regulations and rules? Are there any models of checking your own surveyors?
So currently, we have our survey council bill at Parliament, which they are working on it. When it comes out, all these issues of penalty and then punishments will be applied. But actually speaking, there are rules and regulations that exist that when you people are.
Let me come out quickly. We are just rounded it up. But this 2013, there's the land acquisition and registration in Ghana. There's of course a seminar, and this is the team you've chosen, and you are saying the way forward. Can we critically look at the way forward? Why this topic and why the way forward, gentlemen? You all have a touch on it. Quickly go on.
From the beginning, when you said, we have problems with this land acquisition and then registration, and all because we don't have the right plans based on the acquisition we make and then the registration. So when you get the right person, the right professional surveyor to get you your plan, to assist you in acquiring your land, at the end of the day, realize that everybody will have good documentation to his or her land, and everything will be in the planned form, that there will not be problem.
Okay, just give me within 30 seconds reasons or who should be there, the benefits you stand to gain, if anybody should partake in this seminar.
Yeah, if you come there, what you're going to know is you're going to know the actual inside of the one you're supposed to use as a surveyor.
So it's actually open to the public.
That's right.
Yes, please.
All right. Yeah. Oh, gentlemen, we're grateful that you are here. I've been speaking to Alphonse Aite. He's a member of the planning committee, a seminar that's likely to come up anytime soon. Of course, we have also the chairman of the planning committee, Surveyor Isaac Labi. Gentlemen, we sincerely appreciate your presence right here at TV3 to explain some issues about surveyors. Let's look at other stories that we're getting. And here, government has proposed a moratorium on all strike actions until post-forum implementation committee finishes its work on the single spine pay policy. On the phone right now to give me more details on this is Daniel Opoku. A very good afternoon, Dan. Thanks for joining us. Now, why would government be putting on a moratorium? You can explain further. Why these initiatives by government?
I can't say anything, nothing.
Okay, well, Daniel, if you can hear me, we can hear you live and clear right here on Midday Live. We're trying to find out, why has government put up or proposed a moratorium on all strike actions until the post-forum implementation committee finishes its work?
Yeah, if you could remember, somewhere last year, government had a national forum in Ho, where they discussed the sustainability of the single spine pay policy, and a post-implementation committee was put in place. Now, what the committee has to do is to review the challenges associated with the single spine implementation policy. Now, as part of the terms of reference, government is asking organized labor to call a moratorium on numerous strike actions that we have seen, and even just two. We have Eastern strike as we speak. So government is just asking organizers if it is possible for there to be a truce before the implementation post committee is able to resolve some of the challenges and the savings by implementation policy. The Ministry of Labour is expected to immediately convene a meeting, a tripartite meeting, to discuss the need to call a truce until the committee finishes its work.
Now, if this becomes a reality, then of course it becomes illegal within the period for any group, anybody, any institution to call for a strike, isn't it?
Yeah, that is the case. But if this becomes a reality, it means that you put some sort of pressure on labor unions not to embark on a strike action. And for that reason, to also help the post-implementation committee to facilitate its work, to finish with all the grievances and the single spine implementation, the single spine before something of that sort could happen. But I believe that when a meeting is convened, it will put some pressure on unions that will embark on strike action.
Daniel Opoku is our labor correspondent. He joined us live on Midday Live. Later tonight on News 360, Dan will be coming through with more of these details. You definitely would have to make a date with us. That would do for business. Shortly, we will do some sports and we will look at some international news. My name is Kwekutemin.